Images are a huge part of the internet. Our Facebook feeds would be very boring without images, Pinterest would not exist, and Google Images would not exist if we did not have images all over the internet. And it's important that we understand how to create these images. First thing you need to know is the image tag starts with img. Shorthand for image. Looks like image if you take out the A and the E. It's also a self-closing tag. It does not require /image tag. It simply opens and closes itself on the same tag. Now, to define an image, we use the SRC. It stands for source, and that is where we link to our image. Now, I'm just going to write in an image that I know off the top of my head, and I'm going to preview this. So now we have an image. This image is a PNG, which stands for Portable Network Graphic, and that means it can have some transparent parts in it. So an image can be a .gif, .jpeg, the other .jpeg, .png, and in some browsers, .svg for scalable vector graphic. But the most common you will see, typically, the GIF, the JPEG, and the PNG. So now that we have this image loaded, we can assign some other attributes. So let's say border is 1. Let's see what happens then. Now there's a border around it. We have the alt tag, the alternative text to show up in the event that the image cannot show up. So let's say alt tag here so that we can see what it looks like. And I'm going to make sure that this image does not exist just by adding some unnecessary 2's to the end of it. And now when I refresh the page, it says alt tag here. That's the text. That broken image shows up with the text that I've defined. It still has that border around it, but there's no image. If there is an image, the alt text does not show up. We can also define the width and the height. So let's say the width, we want to make this 600 pixels long. So now that you notice the image has scaled to be 600 pixels in width, but it also grew in height. Now if we want to restrict the height as well, all we have to do is specify the height to a different number. Let's say we only wanted the height to be 50 pixels instead of whatever it currently is now. We don't want it to scale up the proper way. Now our image is 50 pixels tall and 600 pixels long. Now if we wanted to scale the image based on width and height, it doesn't work for all browsers, but most modern browsers accept this these days. So if we said we want this picture to be 230 pixels tall, now we notice that the picture is scaled back up to a normal scale. Add 50 more pixels and we're going to notice that it's also going to grow in width, which it did. We can also add the title tag, and when we put our mouse over it, it says title here, just like what we wrote. Remember, title is one of those global attributes. We can use it on basically any element. Now I'm going to remove that border so it looks like this, and I'm going to add a link. It's going to go to Google. We're going to save that and we're going to view it. And now we can click on that image as well. So as soon as I click on it, it brings us to Google. So your task for this video is rather large. First thing I want you to do is to create an image. So use the image element and add the source attribute. It does not matter what your image is as long as it's a working image. You can hop onto Google Images and just grab a URL from there. This is all for practice, so it doesn't matter what image you grab. Second step, add an alt attribute. Third, add a border attribute. Add a custom width and height. Add a title. Then wrap a link around your image, like what I have above. Save and open your document in your browser. Last step, verify your image, and link is working properly.